Hello again. Okay, today's lesson is going to be on systems of equations, but we're going to be solving them using the process of elimination. Okay, the first thing that we need to cover is what in the world is elimination and what does that mean in math? Okay, so let's think about this. When we try to eliminate something in math, what do we need to get to? Well, how about zero? Does zero help us in anything? No, that means that there's nothing there. We absolutely eliminate something. So for instance, let's start off with something basic so we get this concept down. If I had 2, okay, and I know I needed to get to 0, what would need to go right here? Okay, maybe I'll just put a 1. Would that get me to 0 if I add? 2 plus 1 is definitely not 0. Okay, so maybe I can do something to this 1 to maybe get us to 0. Could I multiply by something? Maybe let's try to multiply by 2. What is 1 times 2? Well, that's 2. Okay, well, we're getting closer, so we would have something like this. Does that get us to 0? Last time I checked, that gets me to 4. But what if I multiplied by maybe keep 2, but something else? Maybe you're saying negative 2. Okay, well, what's 1 times negative 2? Well, it's a negative 2. And what is 2 plus a negative 2? 0. Did that basically get eliminated? Did it get to the number 0? Yeah. Okay, so this concept right here, we need to remember throughout this whole lesson. We want to eliminate. We want to get to 0. Okay? All right. Why we want to get to 0 is that we want to maybe eliminate one of the variables because we know how to solve with one variable. So if we maybe eliminate x, can we solve for y now? Sure. One variable, we know how to do that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do throughout this lesson. I wanted to start off nice and easy just to practice how to eliminate. Okay, so I'm going to give you a snippet of what we're about to do. So what if I gave you something like, oh, I don't know, let's do 4x and let's say negative 4x. Okay, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be adding, okay? We're going to be adding one equation with the other equation, okay? Could I add this to get to 0? Did I need to multiply, do anything? No, it doesn't look like I need to do anything because what's 4 plus a negative 4? 0. So is the x variable eliminated? Yeah, because what's 0 times x? Well, 0. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. Some of the problems today are going to be this easy. What if I gave you something a little bit harder? How about 3x and negative x? Okay, once again, we want to add these. Would this eliminate? If I do it right now, what is 3 minus, what is that? What should be there? A 1, right? What's 3 minus 1? That's 2. Does that get eliminated? No. So maybe I can manipulate this bottom one to match this 3 up here so that we can eliminate it. We want the same number, but just opposites. Okay? How about we multiply this equation by 3? What's going to happen there? Well, this one's going to stay the same. What's going to happen to this one? What's negative x times 3? Negative 3x. Now, add straight down. Just what we're going to do when we're working on these problems. What's 3 plus a negative 3? 0. It's eliminated. Okay, you get the idea of we want to get to 0. All right? Okay, I have one more example like this, and then we can actually get into some problems. So what if, I'm going to go big time now. What if I gave you something like this? Maybe let's do 3y and 2y. Can I do, will this eliminate? First question you always ask. If I add those together, I get 5, right? Not going to eliminate. So we want to get the same number, but opposites. Okay. So we're thinking about multiples now. We need to make these bigger so that they're the same. Okay, what's the nearest multiple that these two numbers can become? Well, what if I did this? I multiply this one by 2. Well, what does that give me? 6y, right? Okay, what if I multiply this one by 3? Well, that will give me 6y also, but what did I say before? We want opposites. We want to eliminate. When we add them, they have to get to 0. Right now, that would be 12. It's not helping us. What could I do with maybe this one right here? Well, I can multiply by -3, get -6. Now, same numbers, just opposites of each other. That's exactly what we want. Add straight down. What is 6 plus a -6? 0y, which what is that? Once again, it's eliminated. Goodbye y's. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the concept that we're going to be doing. And now we're going to be starting to look at examples.